G'day guys, I'm Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the Emergency Storage Shed. Today we're going to unbox some really interesting looking boxes of assorted treasures. I'm using that term loosely because they could be absolutely anything. I have no idea what's in them. So we'll take the top one off. It's a mangoes box. I don't know, guaranteed it won't have mangoes in it, but let's take it through to the bench and see what's in there. We might try and get through both boxes today because, you know, then we'll get that shelf cleared off, and we only started that shelf last week, so we're doing pretty well. I'm keeping my introductions fairly short because apparently YouTube's algorithm likes that. Let's get straight into this box and see what we got. And my analytics tell me that a lot of people drop off in the first minute, so let's hang around and see what's in here. We have, look, a block of wood. How interesting. I have no idea why that's there. It was possibly put there to prop up the box that went on top of it. They can go to my firewood pile. Okay, we have some electronics, a Philips FM radio telephone. These could even be old police units. Lightning, second of the second month, 1992 or 93. Lightning, does that mean it was struck by lightning and it doesn't work? I don't know. I think there's two of them. So vintage two-way radios, it'd be cool if they were actually police units. And there might be people restoring old police cars that would like the original equipment. So very cool. I assume it's just a 12-volt supply. Yeah, it would be. I don't have any antennas, so I don't know how we're going to test them. We probably can't, but I'll check them out in a little bit more detail. They both look identical. So that is cool. Right, there's not much left in this box now. Some booklets here. What are these? SALT. Issue free number, volume 1, SALT, number 5. Pass on after reading. Australian Army and Air Force Education Journal. There we go, that's interesting. This must be one as well, it is. Bit dusty. That's volume 1, number 6, and now we have number 5. So what do they have in them? Education Journal. And what does SALT stand for? It's an authorised education journal of the AMF, that's the Australian Military Forces, and the RAAF, Royal Australian Air Force, 1941. So this is wartime. And looks like it's just more stories than anything. Okay, well, I'll have to check eBay to see if they have any collectability. I'm thinking I'd put them in the shop for $5 each, unless proven that they're worth more, then I may eBay them. Okay, we have a real mixed bag, a little jar full of trinkets here. We'll tip that out when we get the camera a bit closer. We have a vintage pipe. These things tend to sell okay. I have people ask for pipes. The wood is, I think, a briar wood. It actually is branded Pyramid. Real briar, made in Italy, it says. So that's got to be $10 or $20. We have a depression glass era eye wash. These come in different colours as well. I've had them in blue and green. They always sell quite well. They're actually still quite useful. If you ever get something in your eye, I've used one and they work very well. A golf ball, and it looks like it says Panda or something on there. No idea about that. All right, maybe Coco can play with that one. A crystal pepper shaker. I don't know if we have the salt one with it. I don't think we do. So just a random nice old crystal pepper shaker. And I'm calling it a pepper shaker because it has multiple holes. Generally a salt shaker only has one, but not always the case. A lid of some bowl, that's not really going to be any value. A Japanese made egg cup. We had one of these recently, very similar, I think. So I don't think these were like a purchased item. I think you got these with Easter eggs or something like that. Sort of the 1960s. A tape measure, is it? Oh, it's a counter. Yeah, it looks like it still turns, and every time you push, yeah, it still works. So every time you push the lever, it clicks over. I'm not sure what it would have been used for. Looks like it may have been bolted to something. Made in Japan. Interesting. A vintage cupboard lock there. Pretty standard key. I'm bound to have one to suit it, but that's really of not much interest. Just an old nut. A meat cleaver, a small size meat cleaver, but someone's welded a steel handle to it, so it's not going to be of much value. Might actually just be handy for me to split up a bit of kindling in the shed. Yeah, I might even keep it for that. Hopefully I don't chop a finger off. I'd only put $10 on it in the shop. Another jar of knickknacks, we'll tip them out in a minute. A sheath for a knife, and it says made in Germany. And oh, I've seen that symbol before. It's an eye. I'm not sure if you can see that there on the leather. And I've seen that symbol on pocket knives. I don't remember the brand, but it's probably a company from Solingen that made knives in Germany. And that's quite a nice, I think it attached to your belt. So just a sheath for a knife. Now the last item we have in here is an absolutely huge, and I'm going to try not to spike myself here. These are a cod lure. Oh, it's a bit bent. Let me straighten that one up without, ouch, without jabbing myself. They're always still very sharp. So they're called a spinning aeroplane lure, and they're for large Murray cod. And we're getting there. There we go, that's kind of right. Oh, this end's bent now too. So I think the idea was when you drag it through the water with the bait on the hooks, or maybe it doesn't even have bait, maybe these spinning propellers attract the fish. So you're not going to get a little fish on these things. These are designed for catching huge fish. So they're a cod lure. They used to sell very well. I'm thinking I'd put at least $20 on that. Sometimes they're branded. Can't see a brand on this. It has been a bit bent up, but it's better now. So there we go. I'll put that down before I do jab myself. So we'll say $20 for the cod lure. And that's all in our box. So I'll bring the camera closer. We'll have a look at what's in these jars. Okay, it's always fun tipping out jars full of stuff. You never know what you're going to find. Usually just some random nuts and bolts, piece of Teflon tape, half the spool's broken, an old bullet shell being squashed that can just go in our brass bin, a Tex screw, a piece of wire, I think that was an antenna wire off a radio or something, a Bakelite cap, possibly the end of it, or maybe not the end of a torch. Usually they have a metal piece in there. Not sure what that's off. A little plastic moulding of something, some more mouldings, a rubber band that's no longer very rubbery, some bolts. That looks like a horseshoe nail. Interesting. Maybe it isn't, it might be too long. So just some nails, washers, a little stretchy thing that you put on the bandage when you bandaged up your sprained ankle, an Anzac Day badge. I don't know what that is, and something's broken. Just a decorative piece. So yeah, nothing much exciting in here. What's this little brass thing? Little decorative thing. It has 93 on it. I've seen those numbers on something before, on badges, and I think it would indicate the year. Yeah, don't know. No real value, just a bit of hardware and knickknacks. What's in the other one? Some large rubber washers. Looks like we have a tape measure in here. Dressmaker's tape measure. Dean, it's a pretty old one, made in England. Not sure if it's going to have much value. Probably not very useful, but might be okay for a vintage sewing display or something. I'll check if Christine wants it, but unlikely. We might as well check. Now what's in the bottom here? Another large rubber washer. A little spray nozzle for your garden watering system. hose fitting. Oh, another one of these stretchy things for a bandage. That's a bit better than the other ones. More hose fittings or little sprayers. A little chain on a key ring. Alright, and a safety pin. Whoa, that was pretty boring. I don't think we have anything out of here that we can individually sell. I'll just sort the hardware into jars. I'll keep the rubber washers in a jar. We have a bit for the brass bin. Yeah, and a couple of jars to reuse. So we have time now to do this second box, and it looks like it's china and crockery bits wrapped in newspaper, so that'll be interesting. The shelf is now empty, 2 episodes, and we've finished that shelf, so making really good space in that shed now. It's going to be interesting where we go from here. Let's have a look in this box and see if we've got any more value to add for today's haul. Now this looks an interesting mix, not just your normal cups and saucers. What have we got here? Oh, a red elephant. That's quite a vintage piece. So there you go. We always knew there was an elephant around here somewhere. And I'm eating it one bite at a time. That says it's made in England with a number 770. That's better than your average modern Chinese made ornament. An English elephant. Oh, he's got a chip on his foot. And they're toenail. Oh no, yeah. Well, the white ones are like toenails, but there's a chip there as well. I guess it's actually, if you're going to have a chip anywhere, it's probably the best spot to have it. Reminder of a label there. I honestly not sure. Well, it's English made, obviously, but I don't think it's Beswick. Oh, has his trunk been I think his trunk's been broken off. That's a shame. All right, it's not going to be huge value then, but I will do some checking to see if I can work out who made it. I'm thinking in that condition, maybe just $10. Pretty cool all the same. Let's get this out now. What do we got? We have another ornament here. It looks like a horse. Another ornament here. Oh, another elephant. Complete with brass embellishments. Was that a candle holder? Or did something else go on top of that? That's very heavy. I'm not sure what that's made from. It's broken. Heaps broken right off the front of its foot there. But it looks like it's been painted over. Oh, they're possibly ivory inserts for its toenails. I think they're all missing. There's some on the back. And it looks like, yeah, there's a jewel on that side and there's one missing. There's some at the top. They'll just be glass, I would imagine. So, is this Indian? Oh, what's happened to his head? I'm not sure what's missing there. Maybe he was a rare elephant unicorn and he's lost his front horn. There's a little bit of wire around his front leg. There's wire around this one too. So I'm thinking it might be Indian. All the brass embellishments make me think that. So maybe an Indian elephant, but I'm not sure what it's made out of. It's super heavy. It looks like wood the way it's split. Is it actually ebony? Or some sort of very dense wood? It's certainly not a resin or anything like that. So, all right, interesting. I think it's quite old, but I don't know what sort of value it's going to have and what went in the top. I have no idea. All right, I'm at a loss for that one. I'm probably not going to be able to find much researching. I'll have a go. If you guys know much more about this, let me know in the comments. Not sure what it's worth. I'm just going to put a token amount on it. Okay, what's in here? We have a English saucer. Pretty cute. Oh, that's Royal Dalton Bunnykins. That's a nice cute image. I don't know if we have a teacup to go with it. There's another, oh, we've got more elephants. One there, it looks like the lid of something. And there's another one here, which again is very heavy. Same material as the large one. And it's missing a tusk. But otherwise that one appears to be undamaged. And no unicorn's horn on the front. Whoop. Here we have a teacup. No, it's a bell. Made in Japan. Still with its little donger. Probably, I'm thinking 1980s or so by the look of the sticker. Looks reasonably modern. English style. I'll easily get $10 for that. People do collect bells. Now, something else wrapped up in here. This is, it's a little tray for a cruet set. It's Japanese. And it would have had a salt, pepper and mustard. I don't suppose they're going to be in here. Some paper. What date's on this paper? It's quite yellowed. 2007. So almost 20 years old. It's probably been wrapped up for that long. Oh, better be careful. There's things in here. A little Buddha. No marks. I think it's fairly modern. Better make sure there was no more in this. No, that's clear. Nothing else in this one. Now this is a large, oh that's nice. That's a large chamber pot. Exceller, made in England. Very nice old style floral design. And yes, that's a chamber pot, basically a potty slid under your bed or went into a little pot cupboard beside the bed. So that's in pretty good condition. These things don't kind of sell like they used to. There's been a chip filled on that side there. It's actually isn't a bad repair actually. The whole looks like they've replaced a whole section in the corner there. They've done a pretty good job of that. So probably just $20 I'm thinking. Okay, there's a little vase in here. Oh, that's cute. Carlton China, W&R Stoke-on-Trent, made in England. And I think W&R rings a bell. I think that was early Shelley, maybe not. Something like that. Rings a bell. I think it might be Shelley. It's Souvenir from Lake's Entrance. Oh no, W&R I think was early Carltonware, and it says Carlton China. I think that's the connection. Yeah, early Shelley was, I can't remember, but it was much earlier. It's a bit chippy around the top there, unfortunately. This probably would be 1930s when they did a lot of souvenir wear of Australian towns on English China. I think early Shelley was Wilman, something like that. Stretching my memory. All right, another elephant. This is a box of elephants. This is also made in England, like the red one. I suspect that these were probably hand painted afterwards. They're plasterware. Is that on plaster? Yeah, I think that probably is right. Where's that chip? Yeah, I think they're more plaster than porcelain, which is why they're prone to chipping. It's much softer, and also while the painter's chipped off it. Oh, that one's got a nasty crack right through the foot. Hang on, these have got solid feet. This one hasn't, so maybe that is not plaster. The black one is. But same marks, made in England. And it looks like much the same style of elephant. Anyway, I don't think there's a lot of value, even though they are English. All right, nothing else in there. What's this, a whistle? Made out of a seed pod of some sort. I don't recognise that. It certainly looks like a whistle. Does it work? Oh, there you go. I don't think it's a seed pod actually. I think it's ceramic. Looks like a seed pod. All right, we have this feels plaster-ish. Silhouette Ceramics, Melbourne, Australia. Oh, don't know that I've heard of Silhouette Ceramics. Possibly one of the ones that you bought in its raw state and you hand painted it. This one doesn't look like it has been painted. A lady carrying an axe, and she looks a little determined, so perhaps her husband's in serious trouble. And we have more wrapped up in this one. Oh, what's in here? There's bits falling out the bottom. Oh, is that another Buddha? Plasterware. been home painted green, I think. And we have another yellow Buddha, very dirty and dusty. Don't think they're of much value. Oh, here we have a nice little cruet set. Quite an old one. Was silver plate, and it's probably been polished to within an inch of its life, and it's now just the base metal. It's Crescent, England. And quite a nice floral pattern. So I don't know if the little pot here had a lid to go with it or not. Well, it looks like that might have said Dunklings, perhaps. Not sure. Dunklings was a Melbourne store that sold a lot of English stuff in the day. So nice little EPNS or silver plate stand. I guess that one, or the plasters come off the top. I think that was attached via plaster, and then, oh, I don't know how you filled it actually, unless that unscrewed. Yeah, I think the whole collar's come off. That one has a spot for a spoon. So that possibly pepper, a spoon for the salt maybe, and a mustard pot. Not sure on that. Needs a good wash up. I don't think it's going to have a lot of value. It looks like it's got a hairline crack down the side. It's a bit hard to tell. So pretty rough condition. It's not going to come up shiny at all. There's no silver plate left on it. Might only be $15 or something. Okay, one more thing in the box, and it's a large plaster piece. So Chalkware, as it's known, and that's a interesting horse with, I guess they're dogs. They look like whippets. And a lady, I'm not sure what she's carrying. Oh, it looks like it might have been a bow. Has she got a quiver on the back with the arrows in it, perhaps? Looks like it from this side. So maybe she's after her husband as well, with the dogs and the bow and arrow. A couple of, what do they say? Hell have no fury like a woman scorned. There you go. Why am I thinking that's the case? I'm not in trouble with Christine, just by the way. That's in reasonable condition. There's a little bit of paint loss on the high points, as you get with these plaster or chalkware items, but there's no breaks. And sometimes you see on these, they often have reinforcing wires inside the plaster, and because the wire rusts a bit over the years, rusted metal always expands and it cracks along the plaster, and then bits start falling off it, and it looks really, really broken. This one, other than a little bit of paint loss, is in excellent condition. I'd expect that's possibly English as well. Doesn't appear to have any marks on it. Sometimes they have numbers around the base. I can't see any marks on this one at all. I would say it's probably 1920s or 30s. So this chalkware was quite popular around then. And being in undamaged condition other than general rubbing and paint loss, I think I'd put about $50, maybe even more on this one. It's quite a neat ornament. I'll wash it up. It's quite dusty and dirty. It should look a bit better when it's washed up. Original paint finish too. So no one's got to it and repainted it, which some people did, and I think it ruins the value a lot. Even if you might have a lot of exposed plaster from paint flaking, I think you're better off leaving it alone than trying to repaint things. Looks like just a little bit of rustiness in there where perhaps a wire has started to rust. But no, interesting piece. All right, we'll wash these up. We're finished unpacking for today. I'll organise my notepad. And here we have everything washed up and presented for a bit of a browse now. I've learnt a lot cleaning stuff up and doing a bit of research. As I unpack things in these videos, I do a lot of guessing. And I have had some people say, why don't you research first and then you can sort of be more knowledgeable and not give us false information? Well, that would take the whole point out of opening a mystery box. If I knew what was already in there, I'd have to stage unboxing it again, and that's just not right. I'd rather have a guess. Okay, what have we got? Well, I've got my list here. We'll go through some prices in a second. All this stuff here is just going in the $1 box. Oh, not the whistle. I'll try and get $5 for the whistle. I didn't identify this actually. So let me know if you know what it is. It's threaded on the inside, a very coarse thread, and then threaded on the outside as well. I'm pretty sure it's Bakelite. and I kind of think I should know what it is, but I can't actually, nothing comes to mind, so not sure what I'll do with that at the moment. The radios, untested, they cleaned up nicely. I'm going to go 50 the pair. Someone would probably love them for, for a car restoration, to have the authentic radios in them. 1970s era, emergency services, they were used in police cars as well. So pretty cool Philips units there. They were probably very good quality, original microphones. The Army magazines here, I'm just going to go $5 each, but they're not common apparently. I've got a mate that might be interested in those anyway. Now the elephants, these ones are indeed ebony or ebonized wood. A lot of them were made as tourist pieces in Ceylon or Sri Lanka, some in East Africa, I believe. I'm not sure of the significance of the brass dress on the larger one there, but yeah, so they were tourist pieces. There was a lot around. They were made from after World War II right through into the 70s. So not a lot of value, and they're all a little damaged, unfortunately. These two are interesting. The red one is actually Silvac. I probably should have picked that when I first saw the number underneath. And that would be quite valuable if it wasn't so damaged, particularly the end of the trunk broken off. I think I'm just going to put 15 on that one. This one is plaster or chalkware, and apparently it was a copy. Now these were sold or given away at carnivals and things like that, and people actually used a mould of an original Silvac one and then cast this one in plaster. So it's essentially a replica. Plaster is much softer than your ceramics, so that's why you do get chips and that very easily on it. So essentially that's a replica of a Silvac elephant, which is exactly why it's the same shape and style as the red one. I think I went 10 on that as well. What else do we have? Well, all this china in the middle, there's not a lot of value. There is some damage. The bell was okay. The saucer, I think I'll try and get $10 for the Bunnikin saucer. That's pretty cute. The three Buddhas I'm going to sell as a set of 3 for 10. I think that one's resin. That one is plaster or chalkware as well, and it's just a modern slip cast ceramic one. So we'll go 10 on the 3 of those. The Murray cod lure, or aeroplane lure, propeller lure, whatever you want to call it, cleaned up pretty well. I couldn't see a brand on it. It has got a number somewhere, number 1, I think. They were made by companies like Alpha, very Australian piece and quite collectible. I think I'll go 30 on that one. I'll put some leather dressing on the knife sheath here. It came out pretty well. I think I'll just go $10 on that, but I think someone would be pretty interested in that. The pipe, I went for 25, and everything else cleaned up pretty good, as you can see. The chamber pot, I think I'm going to go 20 because it's repaired. The evil-looking lady here with the axe, I just put 10. And the horse at the back, I was a little wrong with that. It's probably Italian, apparently. Mid-century, maybe 1950s. And it's basically a Huntress scene. I was pretty right with my value, though. I think I'll get 50 for it. And the dogs are Borzois. So they're kind of like a greyhound or a whippet. They were a Russian wolfhound, I believe. So quite a nice piece. Typical chips and flakes from your plasterware, which, even though it's damaged, it's kind of accepted on those things because they are quite soft and delicate as far as the actual material goes. And it's nice it hasn't been repainted. So I think that's everything. Let's have a look through the notepad here. So the box 1, 25 on the pipe, 50 on the radios, 30 on the cod lure, $155 out of the top box. And the other box, pretty well, I think, as I mentioned, with the prices. So the best item was probably the chamber pot. Over the page, oh no, we had the hunting sculpture at 50. So a total of $350 all up. And we've got a shelf cleaned off. Yay! And a quick look in the storeroom, and Coco is just very impressed with the fact that we've emptied another shelf, so she'll be able to sniff further down the shed once we move that. We'll do that next episode. And then where will we start? Well, I guess we have to start at the top. I don't think it really matters which side we start on. We'll just start on the top. I'll work that out next week. So that finishes another episode, guys. I haven't updated the total. I forget what we're up to, 35,000, something like that. The water fountain from the last episode, was it the last episode? That big cast iron kettle thing, the water fountain. Sold it, regular customer through the shop spotted it, absolutely loved it. I put $300 on it. He's picking it up this weekend. So good quality antiques like that, even though they don't bring what they used to, can still sell quite well. I've sold quite a few bits and pieces out of the last few episodes. I haven't been flicking back through the notepad. But and some of the things I'll put on eBay, the rare whistling bird from the 1880s, the American toy, that's on eBay at the moment. And I think I've been putting some electrical fittings on as well. But a lot of the other rarer stuff, like the handheld Nintendo games that I got a while back, I've actually been packing them away because I don't really have time to do a lot of eBay. We need to keep going on the shop cleanup because that's the critical thing to do before the shop actually sells. As far as the emergency shed here, well, I'm sticking to my one episode each week. We've been doing that for 183 episodes now, and I don't want to stop doing that. But I'm not going to up the ante either and get more out because I've got to focus on the shop. Thanks for following on the journey, guys. I appreciate your support in whatever form that takes. This stuff we've got today will be available first dibs to my Patreon members, but after 24 hours, if anyone's interested in as far as my normal viewers go, shoot me a message, and I think it's priced to sell pretty quickly. Otherwise, it'll go in the shop. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.